Hey guys, so today I'm going to be showing you how to script a website, in this case unsplash.com, so that you can take all the photos and you can save them to your computer. So instead of having to click on every single photo, save image as, and repeat, you can just run the script and then everything will be all set. So the way we're going to be doing that is in the terminal and in my text editor, which is Sublime Text 2. So to get things started, I'm just going to go ahead and get into my desktop. We're going to create a new folder called, let's name it cat node. And once we're in there, we're going to create two files. The first one's going to be our app.javascript file. So we'll get that one going. And then the second one is actually a folder, and it's going to be used to contain all of our images. So we'll do another directory, and we're going to name it, why not images? And then as far as getting our package set up, let's go ahead and initialize that so that we can get our package.json. I'm just going to accept all the defaults. And then we're going to install request, Cheerio, and FS into our project. And I'll go ahead and I'll talk about those in just a second. But in the meantime, let's open up Sublime Text 2. And get to our project here. So we're on the desktop, cat node. There we go. So as far as the modules that we imported, request, Cheerio, and FS. Request is kind of the all-purpose module I use to get, put, update, all those kinds of things as far as websites go. So we're going to name this one request, and we're going to require request, and we'll do the same thing for the other ones. So Cheerio, and then lastly we'll do FS. Awesome. So what's the first thing we want to do? Well, the first thing is, let's get some cat images. And yeah, we'll just go ahead and we'll take all of these and we'll save these to our computer. So we're going to need this website. And in Sublime Text 2, let's go ahead and do a request. This website. And now that we have it, we're going to give it a callback function. And that's going to take in a error, a response, and then a body. And we're basically going to say that if there's no error, and if the status code for the response is 200, which is an OK status code, then go ahead and give me the information that's contained in that. So now that we have it, what do you want to do with it? Let's go ahead and save all the information into a Cheerio object. So we'll just load that into there. And we're going to be using the body. You can get the body by doing response.body. It's just a nicety. And we might as well go ahead and save this to a variable called $. The reason we're using $, obviously it's a variable, you can name it whatever you want. But we're using the $, because to make it seem more like jQuery, Cheerio is the sort of manipulation and transversal of the DOM on the back end. So if you're familiar with that, then $, is kind of a no-brainer convention. And let's go ahead and say, in the context of this body, go ahead and give me, and what do we want? So I'm using Chrome. I'm going to be pressing Command Option J and hitting this little arrow here. And I want all of these images. So I can get the links to the images, but I want them directly because that's going to give me just the image and not any associated like buttons and all of that. So I want the image in the context of, let's see here, something that grabs all of these. Gotcha. So there's this div called with the class of photo grid. We can definitely use that. So in the context of the div, the class of photo grid, try to spell it right. So you can't spell today. And make sure I have that right. So it's photo dash grid. Awesome. Cool. So we got that. And it's going to give us a bunch of links. So we want to say for each one, go ahead and run this function. It's going to be an anonymous function, no parameters or anything. And what do we want from this? Because if we do just the image, then it's going to give us everything, right? It's going to give us the source, it's going to give us the class, data height, data width, style, etc. We don't want all of that. We just want the source. So in the context of the body, once again, this, which is going to be referred to this image, we want its attribute. TTR of the source. And that's only going to give us the source information back, right? And we're going to assign that to a variable. And that variable is going to be, why not image? Seems to make sense there. So now we have the image and we want to save it because we want to save all the photos, right? Not just this one. So we're going to say images, and we'll create this in a second. Images equals the array, and we're going to push that onto itself just like that. So we're going to take the image and we're going to push it onto the images array. So let's create that. Var images equals an empty array. Cool. To make sure we're in good shape, let's go ahead and console.log this out. The images array. Just to make sure we got everything working. So we'll head back to our terminal and we'll go to app.js and we get nothing. So what's going on here? Let's go ahead and let's see. Oh, we might need to save it first. Okay. Alright, so now when we run it, look, we get all of these links. Super cool. Just to make sure they work, if we take a link and we put that into Chrome in a new browser, we get an awesome cat. Oh my god, it's so adorable. Great. So, back in Sublime, instead of logging out the link to the images, let's go ahead and we'll save them to our computer. So the way we'll do that is once everything's pushed onto there, great, so we got it, we're going to make another request. And this time we're going to request the images link at the given index. And what I mean by that is we're going to create a for loop. And we're going to say, so for var I equals 0, and I is less than images dot length, then go ahead and give me one more. Awesome. So we're requesting that at this given index. Indent that a little bit. And like before, when we made the request, we gave it a callback function. We're not going to do that. Instead, we're going to make this request, and then we're going to pipe some information to a local a local file. And how we're going to do that is we're going to give it the pipe command, and we're going to specify fs, the file stream, The command is create write stream, and this takes the name of the file or the name of the image that we're going to create. So we're using this URL. We're going to pipe it to a new file, and it's going to be, let's call it cat plus the, I don't know, the index, and then we'll make it simply .jpg. I know that might screw up the resolution because it looks like they're all in SVG format, but I mean, for our purposes it should be fine. Great, so we're not going to print anything out, but hopefully once we get this running we get a whole bunch of images in our folder. And let's check this out. Okay, let's go to the terminal, clear this out real quick. Alright, so bam. I can already see it in Sublime. We get all of these photos. Let's check our folder from the desktop just to see if they're all there. And so there's cat node, and here they are. But they're not JPEG. What's going on? So I didn't give it the JPEG extension. I just said JPEG. And also I've noticed they're not in the file, in the images folder that we created. So let's do slash, actually we don't need the slash, images slash cat. Let's try that again. Alright, so we got that. If we go to images, we get all of these. There's the data associated. If we go to the finder and load it up, I'd like to delete all of these. But voila. We got it. So just like that, we got all those set up, and that's essentially how you would save all of these photos to your computer. And this changes over time, and you don't have to go and re-download everything. You just simply run the script again, and it does all that work for you. Well, I hope you like the tutorial. Let me know what you think. You guys have a good one. Bye-bye.